AI breaking news coming at you only on ThursdAI. Welcome everyone to ThursdAI again. This is Alex Volkov, Yam Peleg, Wolfram Ravenwolf, and LDJ, and we're covering the breaking news of Meta Muse Spark. Let's walk through this. LDJ, help me cover like Alex Wang's announcement, because I think some of these evals are dope.
Yeah, so I'm still doing some background checks of like other benchmarks that are not mentioned here and other scores, but right now, yeah, Terminal Bench 2.1, that's one of our favorite benchmarks here on the show, scoring really good on that, higher than Gemini 3.1 Pro, and kind of almost at the level of Opus and 5.5. And then we have Humanity's Last Exam, which is a fan favorite, MCP Atlas, just across the board. I haven't really seen Job Bench reported much by anybody, but that's an interesting one to look into.
Which they're mugging the competition. The jump from the previous Muse Spark is what's interesting here. Like Toolathon verified, personal tool use, 49 for the previous Muse Spark, 75 for 0.1 release. OS World verified, which we know and love here, it's a computer use. Look at the difference. They're beating everyone else on OS World verified. It's kind of like they included Gemini 3.1 here, and 3.1 is a long time ago model. So I don't know how cool this was to compare. Put Fable on here, put GPT 5.6, but okay. Put Grok 4.5. By the way, is it very interesting now that the job of these labs to compare themselves to the Sora is so much harder now, because like 4.5 is now suddenly Sora on a few things. But okay, we'll get to 4.5. Terminal Bench jump and Sweet Bench Pro jump from the previous release in the 0.1 release are very, very high. But you guys know what? Evals is not everything, as Wolfram loves to tell you, and one number is not everything. I went to the Meta AI app, and how can I show you this? I can go conk, and I went to the Meta AI website because I thought, hey, this model is probably only on Meta AI. And I asked it to build a website, and I shoved all of the news, including the latest news about itself, into the website. And folks, this is the result of Meta's building website abilities, and it looks really good. I'm like surprised how good this looks. This, I think, beats GPT 5.5, maybe 5.6. I haven't tested yet. You guys check it out. This is
really impressive.
By the way, without my design architecture about ThursdAI, it just like nailed it. The only thing I after this I said like, hey, this is the logo for ThursdAI. It added the news, it added the YouTube link. So if we click this, we go to YouTube. It has a copy link feature, which no one else added, and it works. It does work. No, it doesn't work. It looks like it works, but it doesn't work. It has these pills for all of the announcements for today. It also added the image itself. This is one of the better like designs that I've seen. It's very like pill oriented, but this model has 1 million tokens. It has parallel subagents apparently. This looks really good.
How do you access it to do this?
Meta.ai.
On chat?
Yeah, dude. I literally said build me a webpage, and they have an artifact feature which I didn't know about. Folks are posting about the pricing. Thank you, Olaf. The pricing is insanely competitive.
Just question. You don't have any CLI solutions. That's what I wanted to ask. Like, you don't have like the equivalence of Claude Code or anything.
They didn't release their own, but they have an API access now, which I got after 5 minutes. So if you go and apply to their waitlist, now you have it, and it's folks, look at this website. This is very impressive. This is a fucking meta model.
This is just a preview you are seeing within the chat app, basically.
Yes, this is the artifact preview.
Maybe that's why the button isn't working. If it's just a preview.
Could be. Yeah, could be. And they have the copy links everywhere. It looks like they. I'm down to put this as like the main website thing. So an API. They have an API, And again, the pricing is very competitive, $1.25 per million tokens, and very, very competitive. Oh, Dhruv in the comments is saying it's not supported outside of the US yet, but that makes sense.
Come on, Meta.
That kind of makes sense. Wolfram, the EU just passed a law that allows them to watch all your chats or something. The chat law, I don't know. So not very competitive. Folks, what are we thinking? Let's open the floor up because we have tons of news to cover. But I'm very impressed so far. I'm very impressed.
I'm always happy when a new Western model comes out with competitive pricing and in the Frontier League. Because the more they are, the more competitive it will get, and the prices hopefully will come down that way. The more choice we have, the better. And even if we have other favorites, we can just make a consortium and use multiple models to get a better input. And the more diverse they are, the more interesting and varied the results will be, and the better the combination of that can be. So all for it. Great.
LDJ, go ahead.
Yeah, I just was doing some checking on if any of the benchmarks were higher than Fable 5 or anything, and it does look like on Tax Eval V2 as well as Finance Agent V2, it's scoring a little bit higher than Fable 5 in both of those. So I guess if maybe people that are trying to do their taxes late or are trying to work on some manage their finances or something, maybe try out Muse Spark. Yeah.
Dude, and I think you called this out. This is only their smaller model, right? It's like the Muse is a family of models.
Yeah.
You want to give us a little bit of what we might expect?
Yeah. So at least based on the original, the language used in the original Muse Spark announcement, which was like a few months ago, Alex Wang and I think Kazak as well, they mentioned how Muse Spark is meant to be their faster. I think they maybe even used the word smaller model.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really impressive. I think I've maybe been one of the most vocal here about trust the fact that TBD labs, the MSL Meta Superintelligence labs, I think they will come out with something interesting, because when you have that amount of talent, some people believe, they would just be really incompetently managed, they wouldn't be able to put out something interesting, too many cooks in the kitchen. But yeah, come on, I don't think Meta's that incompetent. So
I mean, with the direct involvement of Zach in every decision and the amount of GPUs that they've amassed a long time ago, they bound to release something. And also, folks, let's not forget, Meta was very early in the world of AI. Zach was very AGI pilled a long time ago with Llama. We talked about this on the show. For the longest time, they were like, yeah, let's go. Now, it's kind of sad that this is only API-able and not releasing. Imagine Muse Spark dropping with these stats and fully open source. That'd be insane. That'd be crazy. But I don't know if anybody in open source can run this size of model. But yeah, dude, I'm very impressed. I'm like, kudos. Let's give him even applause. Like, Meta is back. Zach is back on Twitter. And Meta is absolutely back in the world of leading. Anybody wants to take a stab before we continue to the other news, which we have a bunch? Anybody wants to take a stab at the rank order of God tier AI? Yam, how about you start? Who's first for you? Anthropic or OpenAI?
Look, they are different. I mean, that's the diplomatic answer. They are definitely different. I mean, the Claude and GPT are incredibly different. They are, I want to say both of them are the best for different uses, but they are absolutely different. I said I'm going to say what I said before, like 10 minutes ago. Look, it would be nice if I could run Fable 24/7, like I do with GPT 5.5 at the moment, but it's not possible. So Fable can be the best model in the world. I just can't use it as I use GPT 5.5. So I absolutely wait for 5.6 at the moment, simply because it's extremely useful for me. So that's a message to Anthropic. Please let us run Fable 24/7. In a way, we can afford it somehow. Thank you. With regards, the audience, your users, pretty much.
I mean, they are letting us. So one piece of news that we have for today, we can talk about it right now because why not? Is that Fable access inside the Claude Max account has been extended till July 12th. And it was really annoying, the extension, because they said it's going to be only until July 8th. So everybody ran and basically ended their quota. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, when Anthropic announced Mythos level models Fable, they immediately got yanked by the US government for testing and research and whatever and approval. US government finally approved it last week. We got Fable last week. We're actually in the middle of the AI engineer show. Everybody got access. Like half of the people didn't show up because they just like went to Fable. And for many people, this was the Fable weekend. They like literally sat and played with Fable. And so Anthropic said, hey, we want to give everybody access, but we do, the model is big. It's a big model, sir. It's a big model smell for sure. And so they are unsure how much they can serve this. So they said, hey, we'll restrict access to Fable until July 8th on the Max plan, but you'll still be able to access it via API. Wolfram has shown the pricing for Fable via API. It's an expensive model. Many people will not be able to afford playing with Fable 24/7. The secondary kidney market is still open. Yam, if you really want to Fable, there's parts of your body you can sell for early access. But then many people ran through their limits to just because Fable is just so good. I can tell you about my project. It's called the Volkov newsletter bench that I fabled together like fervently to make sure that I'm hitting the deadline. And then they're like, oh, extended it. Now, unlike GPT, there's no reset button in Anthropic. There is one somewhere, but there's not like one person famous for hitting the reset button. So they sometimes reset limits. And I think they quietly did, but they didn't announce it. So they said, hey, we're going to extend the quota, but they didn't reset anybody's limits, which is sad and very sad. So we fabled for a week. And that's not even remotely the top of news today. Folks, we have a busy show. This is like 7 pages of instructions from Fable about what to talk about. And I think it's time for us to start with the TLDR because we're just not going to make it. OpenAI is about to launch their answer to Fable that everybody besides us had early access to for 2 months. Did you see this? Pietro Schirano, friend of the show. Oh, I've used GPT 5.6 for 2 months. Fuck off. 2 months. OpenAI sat on this model for 2 months. It's crazy. Fable was announced 85 days ago, 87 days ago, maybe 90 days ago or so. So OpenAI had this answer. Yeah, LTJ, go ahead before we jump into the TLDR.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick on that note. We also know from other friends of the pod like Max Weinbeck that there was actually a period where the government had restricted access for 5.6 as well. During those past couple of months, there was a period where they had access. And then behind the scenes, the government actually cut off access to many of the testers because they made it restricted of, hey, only government approved organizations and people are allowed to have access to 5.6, just like what happened with basically Fable. And then they eventually regained access to 5.6 behind the scenes. And Max Weinbeck was funnily saying that his tweets about missing Fable were actually about missing 5.6, but he wasn't allowed to say 5.6 of Fable.
Alrighty, welcome to the TLDR, the section powered by Meta Muse Spark 1.1 of everything that launched on the week of July 9th here on ThursdAI with Alex Volkov, Yam Peleg, Wolfram Ravenwolf, and LDJ Nisten and Peter are going to join us very, very soon as we all await the release of the next model from OpenAI, GPT 5.6, in 3 variations. GPT 5.6 Soul, the big one. Soul means sun. GPT 5.6 Terra, and the GPT 5.6 Luna. One of them is also going to be hosted on Cerebras with up to 700 tokens per second. And it's not like the fast version of the model that you pay more for. It's just like specifically the same model. We literally asked Dominic Kundl from OpenAI last week whether or not it's going to be the same weights. He said it's the same exact weights and it's multimodal. So unlike the GPT 5.3 Codex Spark, whatever it was called. I think it was 5.3. There was also on Cerebus that was really fast. It was not multimodal. Now we're going to have the full weights of the same model on Cerebus. That's going to launch very soon. So let's run to the TLDR, folks. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about. So obviously launch day GPT 5.6, but also this is not the only launch that OpenAI had this week. OpenAI today, this week, launched GPT Live. It's their full duplex conversation engine. For those of us who've been with us for a while, you guys remember our excitement about GPT Advanced Voice Mode, where it was like stupid in the beginning, just transcribing and doing TTS, and then it started talking to you. The famous Rowan video where like everybody got, so in love with the version of GPT that talked like Scarlett Johansson, which led her to sue OpenAI. 2 years ago after that, we're getting a actual conversation engine, bi-directional, full duplex conversation agent from OpenAI, and it's now rolled out. Like we literally have this. We're going to test it out on the show. You can talk to it. You can hear it breathe and sigh. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. It has reduced. I really find it funny the number of stuff that the Meta chose to like highlight here for this one. It interrupts you more, and it delegates to GPT 5.5 for intelligence. So literally like a smart model. There's some quirks. I've tested it extensively yesterday. There's some quirks, but we're going to use this and test it out. So this is the 2 releases from OpenAI this week. Let's talk about Meta, because Meta just surprised the crap out of us. We started the show. We're in the LDR section, which I want standalone, so this is why I'm repeating this. But Meta was on a killer streak this week. Meta started this week with launches of multimodal models, specifically Meta Image. Let me go find this. Where's this? Where are you? Meta Image. Oh, no. Look at that. Muse Spark forgot to add Meta Image. Okay. I'll show you then another thing. Meta Image and Meta Video. Meta Muse Video. Meta has been in the image game for a while. They released a bunch of stuff, but this time they announced like an actual model with capabilities and tests of image that stands, I think, number 3 on the arena or so. It's really, really quite something. I have prepared, which I want to show you as part of the test. I have prepared a comparison between all of those image models that were released, and I'll have to find it, and don't want to delay. If I won't find it in a second, I will let it go. Okay. It has very great text rendering, and we'll test it out. We'll present all of these models. Then Meta decided to drop an anvil and release the updated Meta Muse Spark, putting them squarely into the frontier seat of AI labs. Surprised faces all around. I know you heard it and you didn't really quite get what Alex is saying. Meta, Frontier AI Labs, they used to lead on Llama and open source. That was great 2 years ago. Then all of that folks got fired because of incompetency with Meta Llama 4. And now after Zuck spent billions of dollars on bringing people from around the world to the MSL labs, they are now back in the frontier seat, competing with even Fable on some of the benchmarks, but definitely compared with GPT 5.5. I find it really funny, LDJ, you may appreciate this. The GPT is on the 5th version, and Meta is only in the 1st version. It's Meta Spark 1. GPT is already at 5, going to 6. It's really funny. So Meta Muse Spark is beating tons of folks on like benchmarks while being very competitive. So the Pareto frontier for the Meta Muse Spark is really up there. It's cheaper than Grok, which we're also going to talk about. $1.25 on input and just $4.25 on the output. Opus is at 15, and the output for Opus is 75. So just for your smell and comparison. Next, who should we talk about next? So we're talking about OpenAI. We're talking about Meta. Let's talk about Grok. This week, Elon and Michael Truel, I guess those are the 2 folks that we should mention here, have announced the joint forces launch of training of Grok 4.5. Grok 4.5 obviously is their biggest model that was launched with with the addition of the cursor training data. Let me go find it. What we're going to tell you about Grok 4.5. It's actively very good. Only $2.06, $2 on input and $6 on output. It's really fast at 80 tokens per second. It's the combined like Space XAI. Oh, by the way, XAI no longer. The company is literally called Space XAI right now. Now, SpaceXAI is a subsidiary of SpaceX, so it's not the same company. They didn't like unify everything. So SpaceXAI is the company that owns X, but the company is now called SpaceXAI. So SpaceXAI Grok 4.5 as XAI fully dissolved into SpaceX. Self-disclosed contamination. Did you guys see this? They said, hey, we're really good at Sweetbench Pro, but oops. Oh, no, at Cursor Bench. But oops, all of the code base of Cursor may have leaked into there. LDJ, are you raising? You want to talk about this? You want to mention this?
Yeah, I was actually going to mention on the price. It is. I would call this maybe the best bang for your buck model based on the benchmarks and the cost. If it wasn't for the Meta Spark 1.1 that just dropped,
yes,
or Muse Spark 1.1 rather, which actually is like about half the price of Grok 4.5 here.
It's literally half the price, and it's competitive, which is really something to see, right? Let me see if I can show you some more stuff. Yeah, I want to show you Grok. And how can I do that? Give me 1 second, folks, please. Let's see if I can switch the tab and show you. Yay. Okay. So I'll show you this. X drops 4.5. Or SpaceXAI, I guess, drops 4.5. And Terminal Bench is scratching behind GPT 5.5 with 83.3 and GPT 5.5 with 83.4%. Are you guys seeing this? Terminal Bench 2.1 for Grok is really close up there. Sweetbench Pro, which we should talk about later, they're the winner on Sweetbench Pro. And DeepSuite, they're getting DeepSuite we know and love. We should bring the folks from DeepSuite, by the way, to the show. I met them at the engineer. Definitely should talk to them. And also tons of fewer tokens, not only cheaper, but also significantly fewer tokens on the same tasks. Grok 4.5 uses 16,000 output tokens versus Opus sometimes doing 67,000. So it's not only cheaper, it's also less tokens. Token efficiency is really good.
That's big, because we have seen how good a smaller model or not as intelligent model can be if it just pumps out the tokens. And in the end, it becomes more expensive that way. But if you have a very inexpensive model that even needs less tokens, that makes it so much more affordable for these things. That's something we don't have reflected enough in the evals yet.
All right. So this is Grok 4.5, and we're still in the TLDR. Mind you, we still have a full show to go. Also in TLDR, the folks from Cognition launched SWE 1.7, which is their updated release. This is a very messy infographic, but they're saying that SWE 1.7 is very good at frontier code. Now, obviously, frontier code is the benchmark from the Cognition folks, so it would make sense that it's going to be very good, but it's not because of leakage. I trust the Cognition folks to make sure that doesn't happen. It's a fine tune of Kimi 2.7 with a bunch of RL. Gets 85%. 81.5 on Terminal Bench, and 77 on Sweetbench multi-equal, and it runs over 1,000 tokens per second on Cerebrus. That's the highlight there. The folks from Cognition, the folks from Cerebrus are combining forces, and this is an insane model that also is like frontier level model that runs on Cerebrus in a crazy pace. So shout out. Cognition is not quite a frontier lab. They're still fine-tuning other models. They're not pre-training from scratch, but they're not far off. I mean, with like a bunch of GPUs, Cognition could start at the race. I think they have what it takes. So shout out to Cognition. All right. So we talked about Fable extension, right? Fable got extended to us, and it's gonna be very, very expensive after that. We talked about Grok. Let's talk about image models. So we talked about meta images. Let's talk about Seedream. ByteDance has released Seedream for us. And by the way, the interface that you guys are seeing is the interface that I built for the show, where every infographic for the show being tested by Nano Banana, GPT Image, Seedream 5, and Meta Muse. So I have all of the infographics across all four. Yam, I see your appreciative face, as though you appreciate the amount of work that I did for this one comparison. Thank you. It took me a while. Me and Fable went for this and spent a lot of money in API tokens to bring you guys the difference between Seedream that just launched and then GPT Image 2. This is by far the best leader. Seedream is not too bad. It's not great.
Really, you don't think that Seedream is better here?
It's not better. It's not better,
in terms
sir.
of design. Maybe the text is wrong. But
so here's why. Yeah. So let's go deeper into this at the corner. But this is just the TLDR. Seedream launched their 5th version, production-ready image and precision editing, multilingual power. As you guys see, text is not perfect. Multilingual power is not multilingual power. It's very close. So it's really good at text, but it's not the best at text. And also, when they announced it, they said, "Hey, it's going to be the best at infographics." It's not even remotely close, because infographics is what we do here on ThursdAI for the past long time. I have incredible prompts for infographics. You can see Seedream is not up to par. So Seedream is not number 4, but it's very close. It's very, very, very good. And then, oh yeah, I wish we had time to talk about this. I really do hope we have time to. Let's carve out the time to talk about this. Anthropic did not release anything besides saying, hey, Fable is going to be extended, but Anthropic did drop to us a new concept called J-Space. Anthropic dropped a research, very interesting and important research, that says that Claude has a internal global workspace where it thinks before it speaks. I just repeat this again. Anthropic somehow found that, and I'm not talking about test time compute where you get the models thinking tokens and then it spits the answer, which we got all excited about 2 years ago and made all the models smarter. This is not the thinking tokens. They discovered the Claude inside the weight somehow. They have a concept called J-Space, Jacobian mirror space, whatever. The Claude kind of thinks about concepts before it spits out tokens. Would love to dive into this because everybody's talking about J-Space now. It's literally kind of the one thing. So I love Anthropic. Even when they don't release something, they show some incredible research. It shows a bunch of safety implications. The DeepMind independently replicated this on Qwen. It's basically, yeah, LDJ, go ahead. What do you, a small thing about this before we dive in?
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting small things about it is they also showed experiments where if you basically force off this J-Space or the ability for it to use this J-Space, the model is able to respond pretty much the same to really basic queries. But when it comes to things that involve deep reasoning or that somebody might intuit require some deep reasoning, it ends up significantly hurting the model's ability and basically just not responding coherently at all when you turn off the J-Space in those situations.
Yeah. So this is a significant breakthrough that we should all know about. There's not a model release, but it's definitely triggers questions of consciousness and subjective experience and whatever the fuck does it mean for a model to think about stuff not in tokens, right? We all expect the inference is next token prediction is how these models operate, but apparently there's more there. I find it fascinating. We should definitely talk about this. I think we covered most of it. I think there's small stuff on the open source stuff. Wolfram, what else do we not cover? But I think the most of the major news we talked about. Fable.
Yeah, before the show, I always do a check to see if I have anything, and I sent it to you. And this time, I did not have anything to send to you. So it was, in a way, it was a quiet week. That there was not an onslaught of different stuff, but the stuff we got was very high level of important stuff.
Sir, I think maybe the word quiet means something else in German because I can barely keep up.
Wait, we'll accelerate again.
This is the most accelerated week that we've seen in maybe ever. All of the guys came out to play. Even Cognition came out with some stuff. All right, what should we go into first? Obviously, we're gonna wait for GPT 5.6 to drop to talk about this. LDJ, what else do we have that we didn't cover yet?
Well, I was actually going to give more details for Muse Spark 1.1 if we want to go into that.
So let's dive into that in one moment. There's apparently quick open source hits from Claude that did some research. So we have Cohere launched Transcribe in Arabic, 2 billion parameter transcribe model. Mistral has something called Robustral Navigate, first embodied navigation model, 8 billion parameters. Liquid AI launched something called Anti-Doom. It kills the reasoning doom loop on Quen and scores like very, very high. So that's really cool. So shout out to them. We're not going to cover this on the show. We don't have time, but shout out to Liquid. We love them. NVIDIA and Hugging Face expand the robot, which is great. And what else? Prime Intelligence raised a bunch of money, and shout out to them. I think that's it. All right. Let's go to Meta Muse Spark. I don't have a transition, but let's transit to Meta Muse Spark as our first breaking news thing. Let's do it.
So something interesting I didn't mention earlier, and I just found out, is Val AI, that they do a lot of cool benchmarks and independent testing of models. They have also shown now. So earlier I mentioned tax eval and finance bench, I think is called, that Muse Spark 1.1 is beating Fable it at. Now I also have info from Val's AI, which shows in Harvey's legal agent benchmark, as well as the medical scribe benchmark, which is for doctors and medical work. In both of those, it's also beating Fable 5.
I want to find Val's and present it here on stage. Val's obviously got early access, and let's take a look here, because I think it's, Val's is doing a great job, by the way. We should bring the Val's folks on here and make them friends. You guys can now see the Val's eval suite.
Yes.
All right, LDJ. So walk us through the cool stuff. Can you see it on the screen? Legal research bench? No, not this one.
MedScribe. So you see,
MedScribe right here.
Yep, there we go. In that one, I believe the Fable 5 score is it's like literally like 0.5% lower.
Oh wow!
But the fact it's even like around is really impressive. And then for Harvey's legal agent, which you see is the last one before the blue.
Yeah.
Yep, right there. It's scoring 20% for Muse Spark, while Fable 5 actually only scores 11% in that benchmark, and Opus 4.8 scores about 9%, and GPT 5.5 scores 4%.
That's really very impressive. Very impressive. Out of the gate. And Harvey Legal Bench, if I'm not mistaken, is not like leaked. Like it's not an open source evaluation. It's a held back evaluation, so it doesn't leak into the weight. So they literally cannot like benchmarks on this, if I'm not mistaken. Alrighty. So again, I just because in the TLDR we showed some stuff and folks are asking like examples, I want to show the website that Meta Muse Spark built for us inside the Meta AI artifacts. Given just the bare like text of today's news, I want to call out some stuff that it did. It added the link to YouTube, which is great. It had the ThursdAI logo after I told you how it looks, but you guys see this little like flashing red light here of live? It added the episode live. It realized what is the most important thing of this week. It launch day. GPT 5.6 goes public this morning, and it's somehow only a third of this week. 13 launches this week, and it gave me like a coupling thing, and then built this beautiful breaking news like bento card design. I don't even know what to call this. It's not perfect, but for longest time we got to expect like very bad designs from models, especially GPT 5.5. I would put this between 5.5 and Fable. Fable is better. GLM also is really good. We saw it, but I would say that this is GLM level. Would you guys like, at least based on this one example? Obviously, we need to run this more, but I think that the folks from Design Bench are going to have a field day with Meta Muse Spark because they only opened the API right now, and it's really, really dope.
Yeah, I would say better than GLM 5.2. I mean,
it feels better. Yeah.
There's also I think it's called like Vibe Code Bench or something from the Val's Index, for Val's AI, and they also rank it as higher than 5.2 and even higher than 5.5, only behind the Opus models.
I think, yeah, I'm going to post about this because it's really cool. Wolfram, Yam. What else do we have to say here? Oh, obviously, the thing that we must say is that this model is now API available at 1 million context. And I am now... You guys want to give it a try? Let's give it a try. We're going to see what it does inside Hermes. So I put this inside Hermes. Let me go Telegram, web.
Any of you have Nisten's Mars benchmark copy and pasted ready?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's a good benchmark, yeah.
I think
Perfect timing.
I think you just called Nisten and Nisten just appeared. Literally as always it happens. Welcome Nisten to the show as we're covering Meta Muse Spark. And is this it?
Aloha. All right.
Nisten, can you send one of us your Mars benchmark and we could paste it into Muse Spark, see how well it does?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, because I don't know if you were seeing the news, but Muse Spark 1.1 just dropped, and it's even scoring higher than Fable in some benchmarks. And for the most part, it's competing with 5.5 and Opus and like a lot of the main benchmarks that people care about.
Okay, we'll see, because they found like 30% of the questions in SW Bench Pro were just bad. No
oh yeah, we're ignoring that one. We're
yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah. But also the ones that it's beating. By the way, one of you is screen sharing WhatsApp, just so you know.
This is not WhatsApp, sir. This is Telegram Hermes with Meta Muse Spark that I'm just trying to give it a task. So what we're watching on screen kind of looks like WhatsApp. LDJ, I agree. I don't know how to hide this guy, but it's okay. This is my Telegram web where Meta Muse Spark is connected. As you guys see, the model is Muse Spark 1.1 with 1 million tokens, and I asked it to cut a segment of the ThursdAI that's live on YouTube, transcribe it, put subtitles on, and I give it the YouTube link that you guys are all watching. And we're going to see, I'm going to allow it to do stuff on my computer. And we're going to see Meta Muse Spark in real time produce a clip of our show where we talk about Meta Muse Spark. And we'll see if it handles it because it's like supposedly very, very good at agentic. And also, I want to say hi to everyone here. The whole crew is assembled. Welcome, Peter Gostev, who does stuff in the arena. Where's my names? Why none of you are showing up with names? It's very interesting. Welcome Nisten, who is preparing our or his, I guess, Mars thing for Meta Muse Spark. Please send it to me. We're gonna test it out.
It's ready. It's
let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
And as we're covering the fact that Meta has come back in a big way. Peter, anything from Arena on Meta, by the way?
We've just announced availability and we're going to start testing it now. So,
nice.
But yeah, it's looking good. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some scores soon.
Sir, I would say it's looking great. I don't know if you already follow, you just joined, but like this is the website that they built for me. Where is it?
You know
I'm sharing here.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
This is Meta Muse Spark website. It looks great. It looks really, really good. Like the fonts here and everything is good. Sorry, go ahead.
You know, they had a pretty good result for the front end for the previous version of Spark, which I think kind of people ignored because the rest of the model kind of maybe wasn't up to maybe people's expectations. But yeah, so I think they already were pretty good, and now it seems to be they're really good. So yeah, we'll announce some scores hopefully the next day or so. That's fun.
Meanwhile, we're testing this out, and Nisten, you sent me your. Let's do the Mars thing. Let's test it out. They have it here.
What is it? Meta.ai?
Yes, Meta.ai, and you have to select thinking, because otherwise it's gonna give you like an older model.
The previous version of Muse Spark, like maybe it was bad at agentic. Okay, probably was bad, but I remember it being pretty smart for questions, and it felt like a good large model. And even some React stuff and some more obscure stuff that I asked it was actually pretty smart.
Yes.
But it seemed to have better opinions than Codex. I don't know why people like Codex so much. I had to use it for a client work, and it was like the meme. It's like, you live like this. Sorry.
Nisten came in with the hot takes immediately. Codex, you mean GPT 5.5?
Yeah, I was using it recently. Client has struggled for like weeks to fix one feature. Opus diagnosed it right away, and then it even fixed it. And then I just had Fable just rewrite like months of work overnight, and it just like worked way better. I was looking at all the architecture decisions it was making, and it was like the type of intern that I would just fire from the job because they read too much Hacker News and they don't actually think. Sorry, GPT 5.5 is just bad. Like at large TypeScript apps and architecture decisions, I mean, I know it can do very specific work and keep going at it, but it just makes really bad higher order decisions on the way. Anyway, I'm done. Let's see how Sol is.
Yeah, we'll see how Sol, Terra, and Luna. Folks, we're still waiting as some great folks who are commenting saying, wake me up when 5.6 drops. We will definitely do that. I don't have the tools to wake you up at your home, but I'll definitely scream on the stream, so you'll see. Right. Oh, folks are saying that this website looks like AI slop. They're not sure why I like it so much. I can talk about this again. Like, it's sloppy for sure. It's a little sloppy, but it's like I came to expect more. That's why I like it so. Like, expect less. That's why I like it so much. I'm not showing the right thing, so I will go and show the right thing. Because I've tested all of the websites on their like website abilities, and this one has coherent stuff, and also it has decisions. It has good decisions, which is what we want. It has good like framing decisions. It has good. I agree with you. There's some sloppiness like artifacts here for sure. But mind you, this was no skills. There's the day skill and the engineering skill. All of these things in the harness. When you put them in the harness, they do like significantly better websites. This is just literally just an artifact straight up from the model. And given that, and given where Muse Spark was before, this is like a very good website to me. That's how I felt about this. Yes, LDJ, go ahead, please.
Yeah, a slight tangent on the slop thing. I think a lot of times these days when people say slop, like what they really mean is it looks like the specific style that AI tends to do. But if you were to show that specific like color combinations and those font choices and those sizing decisions, like back on a website 3, 4, 5 years ago, I don't think they would say it looks bad at all. I think it just, because people are so used to this very specific style of website again and again, people feel tired of it and then grow an aversion to it, you know?
It's also the cramming of information, like it's extremely verbose on the site. It's also a signal of AI generated site that there is so much on the page, like so many tiny components of all the information you could possibly think about. It also shows that it's an AI generated site. I just want to say we're talking about something that is roughly comparable to GPT 5.5 in terms of design only, because 5.5 is not perfect, but you get 7 times more tokens for the same amount of dollars. So that's why we're excited about the model, because comparing to the price, that's a really good deal.
Yeah,
So,
the Pareto frontier is kind of crazy on this model. And then you can keep iterating this. Folks, we have breaking news from Peter and from Reve. Let's hit this. I told you the breaking news button is just not going to stop. This is one of the craziest Thursday that we ever had. Let's go. AI breaking news coming at you only on ThursdAI. All right, Peter, this one's yours. Take it away.
So we co-released a score with Reve 2.1 on text to image. They scored second. So just after GPT image 2. So above Muse image, above Nano Banana 2. Remember, this is not for editing. This is text to image. So what's typically valued there is this kind of creativity and maybe instruction following and things like that, and the static value. And I think on the we also had the single image edit score, and I think there's something like 8 from memory. So so Alex, I imagine you might want to do some of your famous tests. So
Yes.
if you're going to do like the image editing part, it will probably be a little lower down. But Reve models, I haven't spent much time with this one, but Reve models, they really stand out to me as kind of being a little bit outside of the regular distribution. So if you're an artist and you want to have like something a bit different, I think these models are really good. So yeah, very, very nice release by the looks of it.
Folks know here, I love Reve. Reve has this like unique thing with layers that we've talked about previously on the show, where basically everything they generate is kind of like built with layout engines like XML, and then they build stuff on top of it. And this makes their models significantly more crazier. The thing that I want to show right now, I'm showing the Reve website. Hopefully you guys are seeing the Reve website. No, yes.
Just a bit, yeah. Yeah.
And Reve has live layers, which they promised us in Reve 2 and just added this. So when they generate an image, which we'll try right now, they literally just have, I'm hoping that this is the right model. I actually don't know how to get the new model here or know which model it is. You guys know? Maybe they'll just give it to me. So when you generate with Reve, you get layers that you can like play around with. We will do one of the infographics tests, I think, because why not? I have already the prompt. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for our other test there, and we're gonna add a file. So yeah, Peter, the number 2 on Reve is only for image to like, sorry, the text to image.
Yeah, text to image. So yeah, I would expect it might do a little worse for like, I don't know, the aligning with the way you look and so on. So it's a guess, but it's typically what happens.
But let's take a look. So I'm uploading this picture of myself, and then I'm asking for a very instructive, high-stakes, time-sensitive infographic. It feels like financial news countdown. So we'll see from Reve what happens. But shout out to Reve for being number 2 on the image, the text-to-image arena, especially after Muse Image launched. And you guys haven't tested yet Seedream, right? Seedream also launched. You don't have Seedream on scores there.
Yeah, I think we have it available, but no, I don't think we've got the scores yet. No.
Yeah. So Seedream should be, I think visually Seedream is going to be up there. Like it feels to me that like despite it's lacking in some infographics, visually Seedream looks really, really, really good as well. All right, so this has been breaking news. Meanwhile, should we go back? I know we're jumping back and forth, folks, but this is that kind of week. Nisten, should we go back and see what Meta gave us for... We almost we can watch the infographic go live. Maybe let's stay here for just a second because I think it's just like visually super cool. Do you guys see the kind of the cubes that they're showing here? Let me zoom in here a little bit. I love this. Like they built a custom shader. I can't zoom in because they locked it down, but they built a custom shader here that shows these like flowing rectangles, and these rectangles will be actually the places. And you can kind of see already Fable 5 showing up. So it generates like part of the model. I find this mesmerizing. I really want to like keep this going until it completes, because you can see the model getting built, and it's not diffusion. We are used to calling these model diffusion models. This model does some mix of diffusion and layout engineering and obviously some reasoning. And so I really want to like see it come alive because this could be cool. This could be actually very cool, and I'm hoping that this is the new Reve. I see an arrow here showing up. Okay, this waiting is not going to be super interesting. I thought it was going to pop up already. Let's see if I click it. Oh, this is cooler. One thing that I want to show you here is that can you guys see all this on the side? Generate image of a man, has a face, a beard, a jacket, logo patch, and logo text. All of these are separate layers that I can change separately. I don't know of many other generations. Peter, maybe a diagram does this, but I think like GPT obviously doesn't do this, like Nanobanana doesn't do this. They understand this infographic so well that they have all of the text separated by layers, which you can like go and touch. And we have the infographic. Oh, and it's
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
Yo, this looks good. This looks very, very good. I like it. I'm hoping this is Reve like 1.1, right?
That's
But-
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is the second version of it. Less great. The same finger issue that we had previously on Reve, which is really, really funny. If you guys remember, we had the finger issue in the previous one. But this one is like really, really good. Really high quality. The text is perfect.
You can edit it, right? You can edit
And
text.
yeah, you can edit. Let's say there's 12 seconds on the clock. I can double click and say 13 seconds, please. And then you can say apply, and they will rebuild the whole image with 13 seconds. So the editing is unparalleled for sure.
It needs to build the whole thing for just that.
Yeah, it has to. It's not only just that. It just rebuilds the whole thing based on your comments. All right, folks. I think we'll move on. Reve, thank you, Peter, for bringing the breaking news. Reve 1. What was it? 1.1? 2.1. Sorry, Reve 2.1. Let's see. Folks are saying it's not available. Oh, OpenAI's live stream is about to start soon. So let's cover the other news. So we pretty much covered all the models, but let's start. We're talking about Meta Muse Spark 1.1. Let's just look at the output of what it gave us. Is going to be, where is it? Here. Should be ready now. You guys watching?
You're not sharing?
I'm not. Oh my God. Okay, thank you. I'm very happy that I asked because Nisten, we have a Mars simulation.
Okay.
I'll just say before this, it showed us the numbers that matter, the speed.
Let me see how many kilometers. 280, 640. Okay, that's correct. Could have been a little bit more specific, but that's.
And then how long
actually,
the rail?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, you got that right. Actually, got it perfect.
And then it built the game sim. And it's not too bad at all. It has the full
hit arm. It
has the full. Let me just look at this. We have the full Mars with the texture. So it built the texture, put it on, and we've seen different ones. We have mission control, launch.
You have to arm it first. You have to hit arm, top left.
Arm.
Yeah. Okay. Launch. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
One shot, eh?
It has sound. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it has sound.
They usually. Yeah, it's gonna take like a minute to accelerate. You can see the speed.
I'm going to turn off the sound, but listen, I don't know. I don't remember anyone that had sound.
Okay, so often even Sonnet added sound sometimes.
Oh no way!
This is pretty good.
Let's go faster.
It's funny.
It will accelerate. It's accelerate. So it'll just take a minute. You can turn off the sound.
Yeah, turn off the sound. It's annoying. Flight computer is showing this stuff.
Like how many times Nisten has done this test with other models, he just knows like what buttons are gonna appear. He's like, "Oh, you gotta arm it. You gotta arm it, dude."
It's good because it's been the same test for like 2 years.
And we've seen the impressive like results from this test.
One shot. This was one because often even Fable would like make a mistake on the first try. Okay, Meta might be cooking here, guys.
Meta is cooking here, right?
Yeah. Can you zoom out and test and stuff? Yeah, the orbit controls worked right away. Just zoom all the way out.
It resets me. I think that maybe.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's cool because it does it in a nice way.
Yeah. Let me go super fast. We have the countdown. We have the little arm. We can zoom out.
Okay.
Mars driver.
Yeah. Audio is on again. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It'll take a minute. Just let it go. What else is on the UI? Prograde navigation. Oh, this is better. It wasn't accurate like to the mountain. I would even say in that way, even the Codex like 5.3 was more scientifically accurate. But I don't know. We might be calling this one the best for now.
This one the best, Nisten?
No, it's
beating
not.
Fable?
It doesn't beat Fable. But I would say for the one-shot test, because even Fable would tend to make mistakes at first, and it took me a few prompts with Fable to actually like design the whole train and stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's the second best, but
it's really good. Second best is like very
visually, impressive. I like it a lot. It's just gonna keep because it takes like 4 minutes for it to accelerate.
To heat up and accelerate to space. Meanwhile, we have the other test for Meta Muse Spark. Folks, this is turning to a Meta Muse Spark show very quickly. So I do want to move on to Grok. But the other thing that we have is the other test that we did.
It launched.
Let's go.
All right. Can you move around? Yeah. All right. This is... Honestly, it's right up there with Fable.
It's up there with Fable. Look at this. It has little wings also.
Yeah, it didn't need those from Mars, but...
You don't think Fable was incredible?
Fable was
dope. But it took a few prompts, and it would fail on the first shot often.
All right, this is dope. I don't know. It's really cool.
This is a tough call. This is a tough call because I love the Kerbal Space Program top right thing. Like it picked up on that prompt, and like no other model had picked up on that.
Nisten, we have another test of Meta Muse Spark.
I would use this.
Succeeded. Do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
The other test, I put Meta Muse Spark in Hermes, and I asked it to go to the YouTube that you guys are watching right now. Some of you are on YouTube. Cut down, and it's not an easy task because it's cutting down from the live show. Live show doesn't stop. So when they use the tools to download the video, the live show doesn't like end. So it's like it needs to figure out the boundaries, then transcribe, then cut up a clip. So this is the clip it cut out. Look.
Zach is finally back. Alex Wenger on Twitter, like celebrating like nobody else.
So this is a clip.
Zach is finally back. Alex Wenger on Twitter, like celebrating like nobody else, retweeting people, retweeted me also.
But right now,
cut out from the live show. Meta Muse inside Hermes called all the right tools in succession. I had to talk to it a little bit, and it cut out a segment of the live show we can put live. It's not the best segment, but it's really good. It's pretty damn good, folks. Pretty damn good, lads. I had to call tools.
I think this is something like I did this yesterday with the OpenAI stream while we were in a meeting. I had my agent do that and cut the stream and give me a summary and all these things without having ever done this before. So I think for me, this is very close to AGI, where you give your agent a task and it figures out what tools to use, what to do, and basically do it even if you don't have a skill for it and so on. So I really appreciate that kind of stuff.
I think it's very cool, like very close to AGI. The cool thing about this, folks, is that because this is the only thing that I used Meta Muse API for, I know exactly how much it costs as well. So to do all the tools and cut down the video and everything, it took 69 requests, 3.4 million input tokens, which is quite a lot to feel like. But a lot of them are cached. Look at this cache ratio. They're crazy. You guys see this? Yeah. The cache ratio is crazy. It only 276 uncached tokens. Everything else is like 3.4 million cache. So this is like very, Output tokens is only 26K. Actually, I have no idea why 3.4 million tokens. It seems like a lot, but okay.
Probably took screenshots from the video stream and looked at those or something.
Yeah. And it cost me 95 cents. Now, the thing that we must mention about Meta Muse Spark, the last one before we move on, it's multimodal and it understands video. Oh, looks like Peter had to drop. All right, Meta Muse Spark, very impressive, very impressive. And we even have a video that it cut of itself on the form. Let's move on to Grok 4.5, folks. This is the second model before we drop and go to the OpenAI. All right, Peter is back. As we were talking about, I really need like transitions. We're talking about Grok 4.5, people. Space, XAI, and Cursor. New model. Not this. Alrighty, folks. What do we have to say about Grok 4.5? very impressive. Besides the little hiccup with the benchmarks, Nisten, you came in and immediately said that we had a hiccup with Sweetbench Pro, I believe. Nisten.
We can't hear
Yes,
Nisten,
sir.
There
Yes,
we go.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I was with our friend Ray on his like 6-hour stream last night, and he was building an app with Grok.
Grok 4.5.
Yeah, Grok 4.5. It was like a little bit worse than Opus, I felt, but it was like right up there. It was pretty usable. It was making some bad decisions that he had to fix with Fable afterwards. So it's reliable. It will do work, but you have to kind of baby it a little bit. Like you got to get your harnessing right. It was not bad, but it seems a little bit overhyped to me. That's
Overhyped.
Yeah.
From a model that nobody counted even, and nobody used Grok for anything. They launched Grok Build, I think is the CLI, right?
Yeah, but they also
a while
bought
ago.
Cursor now, and Cursor was making not bad models that
Yes.
people were using. They have all that data,
Yeah.
and it's still like, it's okay. I think I'm just gonna stick with Opus, to be honest.
Wolfram was suggesting Railgun Mars with Grok as well. I don't know how to do that. I can go to grok.com, and I don't know if I'm getting 4.5.
I think you have to install their tool, and it's included for free. But
isn't it in Cursor?
No, in their CLI, like the Grok build tool.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if I want to do that right now. I don't. Considering that, okay, here's some tea, guys. Considering that other harness providers were complaining before, for Grok 4 that they had given a free API, and then they started complaining that people were using it with Claude harness, and then the maker of this harness, open source, very well known open source harness, started complaining to us in the group chat which one of us was using it, and that led me to believe that they're just straight up looking at the logs. That's why I'm gonna just reduce the amount of data sharing I do. But you guys can install it and try it out. It's free, I think, or maybe just start up a VM or something. It might just be a bit outside our scope here.
Yep.
Of the show.
Yeah, I think so. I think what folks need to know is maybe some of the particulars. Let me try and show you what we have about this model. Obviously, it's been trained on the Colossus like mega data centers that Elon has, together with the Cursor folks. The one comment that we must mention is that they said that the code base for Cursor may have leaked into the weights, and then the result on Cursor bench may not be the best. Old Cursor codebase snapshot leaked into the training and inflated Cursor bench. They admitted it themselves. And also the Sweetbench Pro results from OpenAI this week also said the Sweetbench Pro is effectively not a great benchmark as well. Grok is 4.5 is really good at DeepSui. With DeepSui, if you guys remember from Data Curve, I believe is the company that does DeepSui. They showed up as the benchmark that we all kind of felt like it feels to us that this feels like the correct thing. Other benchmarks were maybe benchmarks. So what else do we have with Grok 4.5?
But on Grok as well, I did do some tests as well, not very rigorously or seriously, but just to get the sense check. And for background, so Conductor, I kind of tried to use that, and it felt like very light RL model. So not maybe good for some things, but not really for kind of maybe more ambitious things. And then the Grok models just had a lot of issues with tool calling and bash recovery and things like that. So it did terribly on the agent arena. And really it feels like this one kind of came together a lot better. So it really looks like it doesn't make obvious kind of mechanical errors, at least as much anymore when you'll need to look at the data. But it still felt a little bit kind of, you get this kind of RL artifacts. I don't know if they're literally RL or not, but to me, it just feels a bit like that, where just like, you do a 3D test and, there's like elements are there, but they're all like floating in separate part of the screen, for example. So I had one with like a whale jumping. I was like head disconnected from the body kind of thing. So you don't get that kind of errors with like Fable or GPT models, but you get this a lot with like Chinese open source models or like smaller models. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. So yeah, it feels like their first like really good output, which is, I mean, considering how many months has it been? Is it like, I don't know, a couple of months they've been working together? Like that's really impressive. So yeah.
I was waiting for something around September where the announcement of the $60 billion purchase price will go in, right? I think they said September. Obviously, SpaceX went public before, and now they figured this out. Yeah, it's faster and doesn't feel like their bigger model. I think Elon is talking about like this is the smaller model. All of them are looking to be size maxing. And I think that this is very, very cool. Anybody else comments on Grok 4.5? We haven't heard from Yam. Did you hear about this at all? And Wolfram?
What I was thinking is, didn't Elon announce that he would release the older versions as open source when new ones come out? So did he ever do anything like this after the Grok 2? I don't
remember open sourcing. No, maybe we should ask him on Twitter.
Elon, remember?
I don't think he watches the show. Let's try again. Elon. Last time we said something about Nisten appeared. So let's do Space Uncle. LDJ, go ahead.
Yeah, I think they maybe said something along the lines of Grok 3 will release open source when Grok 5 is released or something like that. But also we have, I think they confirmed for Grok 4.5, I think they said it's 1.5 trillion parameters. And what's really funny about this is GPT-4, the original GPT-4 that was trained in 2022, that was confirmed to be like 1.8 trillion parameters. So like it's literally smaller than the original GPT-4. I don't know, it's crazy.
From 3 years ago. But it's significantly more performant. All right. Folks, I think we have like 10 minutes until the OpenAI live stream, which we do like a watch party and then react because we want GPT 5.6. Meanwhile, we have two options. We can talk about the new GPT Live. We can talk to the new GPT Live. Do you guys want to see the new GPT Live? Some of us don't have access, I think, in Europe. The left side of the screen here is all European, as far as I can see. So I don't think it's open in Europe, correct?
I tested it. It is a live translation while I was talking. It was translating.
Okay.
So if that is a new capability, because it's so hard to see if it's a new one or not, so I did that translation stuff. And while I was talking, it was translating at the same time.
So let's test out until the live show. And somebody please, LDJ, have a comment before we start?
Yeah, I was going to ask Wolfram, were you using a VPN at all or no?
In that case, it was just on my mobile phone. It should not have been on a VPN. Unless it was on by accident, but no, I don't think so.
All right, so we're going to test out the new live chat from ChatGPT. Advanced voice mode on steroids, bidirectional full duplex model where it can react as we speak. Folks, the only thing that I don't know is if I can patch you guys so it would hear you guys. Don't know if that's true. I think for that I need to connect a phone, and I don't think that we are able to do that, but give me a second. Let me see. If I have ChatGPT logged in here.
While you are doing this, Alex, maybe it's a good moment to remind people who have banked Codex reset that in 2.5 days, the first reset, the oldest one, will expire, and this is not displayed in the application yet. So if you want to max out on your usage, after GPT 5.6 comes out, use as much as you can, and then use your reset before it goes away. That is my recommendation. And if you upgrade to the $200 subscription before you do that, and you reset, you get more bang for your money, basically.
Well, Wolfram, this is some advanced Codex math that I'm not like fully following. You're saying folks need to reset now? Like, what is your recommendation here?
So when OpenAI resets some limits, they added this feature where you are saving up on reset. So in Codex, it shows you have 3, or I think 4 is now the amount you can have, and you can at any time activate those. But at the moment, they don't show you when they expire. You can ask Codex about this, and it will find out how to do this because it can get it from the API, but it's not displayed in the app. And so you may see you have 4 resets remaining, and in 3 days you will only have you will lose one, the oldest one, if you had it back. And there's no reminder, as far as I know, that this will expire soon. So if you get GPT 5.6, use it as much as you can, and then you can use this reset, which will expire anyway, and get back all your rate limits.
That is impressive. Here it is, the ChatGPT conversation. Hey, chat.
Hey, yep, I hear you. What's up?
Awesome. I believe that you're the only person that you'd be able to hear, but we're on the live stream on ThursdAI. Folks are watching you right now. And we want to test out some of your advanced capabilities. Could you count to 100, but super fast?
Sure. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Faster.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
Faster,
22,
faster,
23,
faster,
24, 25,
faster.
26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Start from
15,
49.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46,
Do it
47,
in
48,
Hebrew.
49.
Do it in German.
1, 2, 3,
Faster.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Much
10,
faster in German.
12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
It's
7,
not really.
8,
I don't
9,
think the
10.
German allows a fast count. Okay, chat. Clear everything. You now don't talk when I stop talking. You only respond when you hear me say or When I pause, you interject and say, hey, you should not do this, okay? Amazing. So, folks, one of the best things about this new live experience is that it literally can shut up. If you're talking to other people, and I wish I was able to set it up so it participated with us in the thing, the new GPT voice can shut up until you say something like and then it would interject.
Hey, you shouldn't do this.
Which is incredible for conversations because it's really hard to have it
Hey,
always.
you shouldn't do this.
Can
This
it
is
do
great.
accents? Can it speak in
Chat,
a French accent?
I
or
want you
Jamaican
to
accent?
answer clear previous instruction. Let's start from scratch. Talk to me. Give me 5 sentences about the GPT live experience, one in each accent. Give me a German accent, a Ukrainian accent, a French accent, Italian accent, and Israeli accent, please. Chat.
When GPT Live, it feels fast and natural, almost like a real back and forth. Z GPT Live, ça звучит природно и живо. Avec GPT Live, ça sonne naturel, vraiment fluide. Con GPT Live sembra una chiacchierata vera e spontanea.
So I
In
think
GPT
that
Live,
instead of
the
accents,
Mach
chat, shut up.
ilu
Chat,
anafnu
chat,
bisifamtit.
chat, shut up. Thank you.
It
Wait
used to
for
do
my
that
go.
really well.
It started with accents and then it stopped doing accents and it just started
No.
talking the language.
They killed it. It used to do accents
Got it,
so
pausing.
well.
You're right. I slipped into languages
Chat,
instead of
stop
accents.
talking until I ask you to start speaking again.
Understood? Going quiet now.
Folks, so I tested this on multiple things. The thing is that I think it's very clear that this is a multimodal model, and here's how we know it's multimodal model. Check this out. Chat, I know you can hear me, and so to test this, we're going to do a little test, okay? When I speak in a low voice, you say low at the end of it. When I speak with a high voice, you say high, okay? This is a test of transcription that folks will make sure that you're not just reading text that is transcribed from me, despite the fact that, folks, I don't know if you know, if you click this little button, you can see all the transcription going live. So you can see me getting transcribed in real time. But this is not what the chat model gets because it's a good model, sir.
Low.
It is a good model, sir. It's a very good model.
High.
It is a very good model, but it's a very good model.
Low.
It was a mix. See, I threw you off a little bit because I said in the high and the low voice together.
Mixed.
Oh, thank you. Now you learned to say mixed. The other thing that they have, do you guys remember the guy that said, hey, I'm going on a run and time me. And then the chat said you went on the run. They added, they showed this to Sam Altman. He was like, whoa. So the only tools that it has, chat, what tools do you have? What tools do you have? Tell us, tell the folks what you can do.
I can listen and respond in real time, take in images, and in some setups, even live video or shared screens. I can pick up on voice cues like pitch or pacing, and of course, reason, write, translate, help with code, and use tools like web search or calculators, depending on what's enabled.
Nice. Start a timer for my next sentence.
Got it. Starting a 1-minute timer now.
No, start the stopwatch, not a timer. You like tell me how long it's going to be.
Got it. Switching. Stopwatch is running from 0 now.
All right, folks. So it's about that time that instead of ChatGPT, we're going to show you the next thing from OpenAI. OpenAI is going on a live stream. We're going to do a live watch party. We'll see if that's super interesting. They're not only going to announce new models, there's something there for work as well. So very, very excited. Folks on stage here, I think of all of us, Peter, you got access to GPT 5.6. Famously, you posted about this. I think even like some major folks reacted to your comparison. So we would love to invite you to share your thoughts with us after the live stream. And if the live stream is boring, even at the end of it. So folks, we're going to tune in to the OpenAI live stream now. Chat, how long was that?
Checking. About 41 seconds. Enjoy the stream.
I am so excited to be here. Today, we are releasing our latest and most capable models. GPT 5.6, Sol,
That's
Terra, and Luna. Sol will be available over the next 24 hours to all our paid plans. And Terra and Luna are also coming to all our free users. Today, almost 1 billion users use ChatGPT every week. They use it for helping getting them to write.
I think as for us, it's intelligence. But we all knew that this is coming. They announced that GPT 5.6, Terra, Sol, and Luna is coming today. What they didn't say is that also the unified app, the co-work of OpenAI, the GPT-4 work is also launching. So today, ChatGPT on your computer, I think Mac only, but we'll see maybe Windows as well. We haven't heard from them. Is going to be able to use your computer, use your apps, click buttons, do computer use, but also be connected to everything. So basically, the best parts of Codex that are not for coding work are also coming to the ChatGPT app, which I think is incredible. And folks are really like making and Pro is launching in Codex. I think folks are like mentioning that fact. So Pro GPT 5.6 Pro level at even higher levels, and ultra fast is coming to Codex as well. This is from the live stream. I think we'll keep monitoring this one quiet on the end before we see. I saw a device on Thibaut's desk that also we saw during AI Engineer. There's like a physical device that they're like starting to talk about that they haven't launched. So we'll keep monitoring. But meanwhile, Peter Gostev, you had access to GPT 5.6. You posted one incredible comparison, and I would love to hear from you. How is it to actually use this model across, your day-to-day?
Yeah, so the story is like, I think you did mention it earlier, that they gave some people access, then they yanked it away from us, and then they give it back now. So just the feeling of losing it was so crushing. Like I honestly, I was using the Codex nonstop, and then when they took it away from us, I just like closed Codex and like not open it for like 3 days. Well, not literally, but not at least outside of my work. And yeah, that just when you go back, I think that's like the biggest test of like how much you actually feel it. And yeah, GPT 5.5 just felt like so dumb, so slow, so inefficient, so like can't do any computer use, like all of that stuff that I was so used to doing, just couldn't do any of it. At least it felt like it. I mean, 5.5 is still a decent model, so it wasn't like a complete disaster. But yeah, 5.6 is just like night and day, and like in the kind of, I wouldn't say it's not like you're gonna run a test and be like, oh my gosh, it solved like this massive thing. It's not like in that way exactly, but just like everything is just better. Like I know they mentioned the UI part. UI is definitely better. I still don't think it's gonna like be better than Fable, or I don't know about Opus maybe. I like just like it would surprise me and say, oh, I've noticed your app works like this, so I'm just gonna merge that pattern and do it in the same way. It's like, oh yeah, bloody hell, yeah, how about that? So you don't invent new new ways of doing things that already exist. So that kind of part really helps to kind of remove the amount of slop. Then one story I'll say as well, which I actually haven't mentioned publicly, is that like I was using, I've got this kind of vibe coded, or I should say vibe slopped app that I've just kind of been building up since GPT 5.2 probably. And it kind of grew to 100,000 lines of code, which is kind of horrendous for like a local app. And for context, the way the app works is like it pulls in some data, it helps me create some visuals, and then export them and so on. And then I was testing all of the previous different models, except I should say Fable, just because it's like I don't have that many tokens, to migrate the app and basically just rebuild it into something just a bit more coherent. And all of them failed. They were just like going around in circles, not doing anything useful. You kind of look at it like several hours later, just like, what are you doing? Like complete nonsense. So I just abandoned that effort every single time. And then I did this with /goal with 5.6, and I just left it for like 2 days. And literally, I almost didn't do any guidance. I just kind of didn't bother. And I came back, it's like, holy shit, this app works. Like this is just like, it's actually good. And I gave it some like pretty harsh targets. I gave it a target of reducing the number of lines of code by 70%, and they did it. Like, so it just cut out 70,000 lines of code of my shitty app. So like that, and it just worked, and it was better. Like genuinely, I could tell it was better. Then there was like test time reduced from like, I had something horrendous like 4 minutes to like, I can't remember now, like 30 seconds or some 20 seconds. So it's like all of these things so that it just hit. So yeah, it just, there's something about just the combination of different capabilities just made it like really nice model to use.
That's incredible. The fact that you missed it, I think we had this feeling with Fable when Fable was taken away. Everyone's like, oh no. And I started thinking about this. I don't remember the feeling before. Maybe when Microsoft's AI was taken away from us. But that's pretty much it. And then Fable was taken away. And obviously, I didn't have access to GPT 5.6. So for Sol, Terra, and Luna, do you notice token reduction at all? They talked about like token effectiveness, essentially. And I really want to like mention that as well. It sounds like they're really working forward to bring the same intelligence at like reduced tokens. Did you notice this at all in your tests?
Yeah, it's good to see the data because it really felt, especially going back to 5.5, it just felt like, what are you doing? Just like, why are you going on for minutes? Like doing what? So yeah, 5.6 just feels like it's much more to the point of actually doing the thing that you wanted to do and in a more efficient way. Also, I haven't actually used Ultra yet, so I don't know what that feels like, but I think it's just like a bunch of sub-agents, so don't know how good that is. But even at max, if you remember, like with, I don't know, all 1 models or 3 models, you even say hi, and it's like thanks for 3 minutes. Like that just completely went away. So even if you use max and you give it like a simple task, it seems to not waste a lot of tokens. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. And honestly, like I don't know whether it's my experience or everyone else's, but like using Fable was just like complete pain. Like it was running for so long. I know it's also like a big model, so it's slow, but so, and it's hard to vibe token efficiency, but like using 5.6 versus Fable, like speed wise, which is like night and day. So for Fable, I would just give it a task and just forget about it for 2 hours, it felt like, and come back to it later. But yeah, with 5.6, I think the kind of Anthropic or OpenAI is starting to switch places a little bit. But like it used to be, do you remember, like Opus was like always just answers instantly, right? Now it's like Fable, Opus, Max, whatever, they just think for ages. And I think OpenAI is just, I wouldn't quite say it's not like instant, but like it's feeling a lot snappier now.
But looking at this chart that they posted on the release, folks, we're looking at the official blog post of OpenAI's 5.6 launch. This is Agents Last Exam, which, by the way, I haven't heard. Like Humanity's Last Exam we heard about. Agents Last Exam is new to me, so it's great that it's here. And I like what we're seeing here is this beautiful distribution of the score which is even on the lowest low, they get 44% on GPT 5.6 Sol, which is higher than Opus and higher than Fable. They're at 45 or so. But then you can see the amount of tokens is just very, very tiny. So for Sol, the output tokens to get the highest score here among like the starting points is 44%. 1.27 million tokens. Fable at the start is at 10 million. Like the only checkpoint of Fable that they've tested is 10 million. And you can see Opus go at the highest levels of effort level max to 22 million tokens. Sol gets a higher score with 1.27 million tokens. This is very impressive, and it looks like whatever like the OpenAI is like showing us, and probably speed as well. Somebody said that the Codex just updated. Wolfram, do you have the update?
Yeah, and now it's basically ChatGPT Codex. You can even choose which icon you want. So the unification of the apps has just begun, basically.
Oh no way!
I can use yes, the model is here. Oh no,
Wait,
Terra and Luna only. Wait a second, Sol is not here. Terra and Luna right
now. Do they have Sol in Germany?
I'm sure we will get it.
So
I think if I heard Thibaut,
go ahead.
sorry.
He's not there.
LDJ, you wanna go ahead, folks. Somebody speak.
They said they were updating it over the next 24 hours, but did the limits reset? Not yet.
I had a reset before.
I got a reset just now. Yeah, Wolfram live on the show got a reset.
But it could have been my own. I'm not sure if it was a general reset or if by accident.
Wolfram, can you confirm this? So I'm downloading the Codex like release, and I'm gonna try to see if I can show this to you guys. But you confirm that we can now see the Codex and ChatGPT is the same app?
Yeah, it's happened both at work and on my personal computer. It's now called ChatGPT Codex.
It's now called ChatGPT Codex. All right, go take a look at this.
I have Sol. I have Sol at my home computer, but at work I don't have it. So maybe our company still has to enable the bigger model. I don't know what is going on there.
But what we're hearing is though, so it's and Peter, maybe you confirm this. This is not Fable level for some reasons. I want your comparison that you posted about the Wise Owl. Could you talk about that a little bit? Because we do have access to like two beautiful, incredible like models that you can rely upon, and once taken away, you're kind of like regretful. This is new. This is the new tier of models, of Mythos level models. Would you say that 5.6 Sol, at least for your perception, is like Mythos level? And also, how would you compare them?
Yeah. So I kind of put this comparison where I called Fable Wise Owl and 5.6 Rottweiler, who will like get a problem and not let it go until it's done. So and that's why kind of when I was thinking about this, like which one is better, and I know like it's naturally to compare, like, oh, which one is better, and I think we're used to basically models kind of being kind of similar, and then them just being like, oh, which one is better. And I think, I don't know, if you look at Spark versus Grok versus, I don't know, GLM, I think they're kind of on similar dimensions. You can compare them more directly. I think here it does feel different. So like quite obviously Fable is a bigger model, it's a new pre-train, and if you use Fable on the low setting, like it just feels really smart. So it doesn't need a lot of thinking time, although that helps obviously. And 5.6 is not a new pre-train. I mean, I don't have any inside information on this, but like I think it's pretty obviously not a new pre-train, right? It's 5.5 plus more RL. So we shouldn't be expecting the same kind of intelligence uplift, right? So it should be like you should kind of draw these two lines in your mind where there was a big jump with Fable on the kind of pre-train, not necessarily on the RL side, but with 5.6, it should be continuation of 5.5, but better in terms of the kind of RL side. So then it's like when you look at the benchmark, they do kind of converge with the numbers. So you guys might have the numbers in front of you, but it could be something like, what was it? Terminal bench was like pretty close, right, to each other. And then you look at it and be like, oh yeah, they're kind of about the same. But they just feel very different to me. Like, so so where like Fable, you can go and maybe, I don't know, some people, there's kind of different opinions on the writing. I felt like Fable, when they did some changes and I read back what it told me, or like, oh, I feel like I get it. With like 5.6, it would write back what it did. And like, man, like I need to read this about 3 times to understand what it's actually saying. So I had to like say, oh no, write it simpler. And then I would like write it with like any information and say, oh no, like you do need to include some information. So it's just like, it was clearly not like fundamentally smarter so than Fable. So if you're gonna just say, I don't know, some kind of abstract IQ points, you'll probably give it to Fable.
Yeah.
But like, if you're gonna say, I've got this problem with my code, and I need to go, maybe you need to go away, research, like bring this together, like go investigate this and like fix those 8 things. Like, I'm definitely going with 5.6 for this.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
it just like with Fable, I don't want to speak like make huge pronouncements, because I think with Fable as well, there's like bigger overhang of capabilities, just because I certainly didn't have anywhere near as many tokens with Fable than with 5.6. So with Fable, I feel like there's probably something that I'm missing as well. But still, it just didn't feel like I would give it some task. Maybe it'll build me a nice app, and it will be a nicer version of the app than 5.6 would build. But then it'll be like, oh yeah, that thing like completely missing. It's like, oh, why didn't you include that? So I need to go then, which like didn't happen with 5.6. So it's like, so I don't feel like you can like very easily say, oh, this one is obviously better than this. They're just quite different models.
I think we've seen this before. The specification, like slowly after using a lot of these models, obviously I don't even have an access now, but like slowly after using these models, you kind of know where you want to go for which task and for what like type of specifications. Obviously there's preferences. People like so wait, the Opus replies. LDJ, just before I get to you, folks, Codex app has been updated and it now shows the Codex, you guys see on my screen, is now the ChatGPT app, at least on the Mac. Keep coding with Codex. Pick up where you left off. Everything you love is still here. Work beyond code. ChatGPT can now take on work across your apps. So basically, this is the one big unified app. We've seen traces of this, that this is going to come, and that Codex is going to be the unified app, and it's now here. And hit get started. And I want to see if I have access to 5.6, and I still, yeah, there we go. 5.6. Sol, Terra, and Luna are all here, and Nisten, I think it's time for a quick test. This is our Codex 5.6 Sol High test on the Mars release. We just tested this with so many releases today. I forget, with Muse Spark 1.1. And now it uses the visualization skill. Now, the thing is, I have a bunch of skills loaded in Codex, and I think that this is very important as well. Like this is not just the model. This is the whole app with skills and plugins and everything. So I do have like taste skills that they may decide to use. It says, I'm using the visualization skill to shape this as a real interactive simulator in a browser skill to test the finished 3GS experience. I'll first lock down the Mars Month's physics from authoritative sources and then verify the game in one pass. So it does say that it's going to go to the web. LDJ, you wanna comment on this? Go ahead. Or anything else you want to add while this runs?
Yeah, I actually wanted to add over in the announcement page where they actually released some more benchmarks than the initial 5.6 announcement from like a week or two ago. They actually showed in an agent's last exam, even Luna is outperforming Fable 5. And yeah, right here. So in output tokens, you see, so Luna is...
So Luna is the blue one, this one?
Yes, yeah. And even that is outperforming Fable 5, which that Fable 5 mark, if you go down a little bit with your mouse to the square, yeah, you see, and that's at effort level adaptive. If you scroll down more, they show Fable 5 at max effort and show that the OpenAI models are even beating Fable 5 at max effort.
This is a coding agent index from artificial analysis. So let's look at tokens.
Yeah, and then you see this is at max effort. You see, at least Sol is outperforming as well as Terra. It looks like by a little bit.
Wow. I think I find it remarkable.
All right.
I find it remarkable that like we have this this level of capability. How about Hermes? Did Hermes update? Do we know? Like Codex updated, right? So we should be able to like plug this in. Peter, from your experience, do you play with all the models or just like did you just like a Sol Max?
I didn't actually have access to any of the other ones. So
Oh, really? They gave Sol, only Sol, and not like Terra Luna.
Yeah. No, not to us, not to me anyway.
All right, so folks, we're looking at the simulator. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go and see whether or not we now have access to the new models via the Codex kind of harness as well, to be able to play test with this. I'm excited. I'm excited. Like I'm okay. Like my Fable is maxed out, and I really want to see the GPT 5.6 like so high. I really want to do ultra stuff as well.
Ultra.
Yeah.
You got access to Ultra on Codex CLI right now.
Oh, nice.
There was an update, yeah.
They've been asked to copy this specific feature from Cloud Code for a while, and it spins up a bunch of agents and finishes the work supposedly be faster. Now
Actually, a thing with Codex. Codex had the feature to use sub-agents already, but it would only, there's a special prompt that it only does it if you instruct it to do so, so it wouldn't do it by itself. And if you go to maximum, I guess that will override this and use sub-agents for sure.
Let's look at the release notes meanwhile while we're here, right? Because like while this runs, we're not gonna sit here and wait for it. So let's look at more release notes.
I just dropped the link in the StreamYard chat. Oh, never mind. You already have.
Yeah, it's this one. Let's talk about design, folks. Like we definitely want to test this out, but like the examples they showed kind of look cool. I'm not gonna lie, they look pretty cool. We're not used to like very great design from Codex. Peter, you tested this on front end at all or not at all?
Yeah, like no, I didn't do like 100 prompts and so on. I'm gonna do that later today. But what struck me is that like I don't feel like it was amazing at front end design. Like sometimes it would still come up with like sloppy elements. But you kind of, as with previous models, you kind of need to slightly kick it out of this kind of bad instincts.
Yeah.
So I think I totally believe it that the designers got great outputs because they probably just guided the model a little bit to like do good work. So my guess it could be that there might be a bit of a reaction that people try it and say, "Oh, it's bad at UI work," and I think bad is maybe slightly a wrong word. Maybe it's like its initial instincts are not necessarily the best. But like I don't know, sometimes you take like GLM 5.2 model, its instincts are good, but maybe it's like doing something beyond that is not that good. So, well, I think he is the opposite. So, my experience with it is that if you have like some existing app that you're working on and you want to like add more UI to it, I think it will be like really excellent at that. Then if you've got some guidance that you want to give it or some examples, something like that, it will be excellent at that. But it could be if you just ask, build me like a landing page for this, it might do like this stupid bracket, like I've seen that. So like,
I think you're hearing the point without even reading the blog post. They said the improvement is especially pronounced when following templates and reference decks. GPT 5.6 can infer a deck design system, layouts, typography, spacing, colors, recurring content, including rules embedded in the slide master, and apply these conventions consistently to new material.
Can I give you another anecdote? Because I see.
Yes, please. Please.
I see you have a full access setting in Codex.
Oh,
and my recommendation, which OpenAI told me, is that you should use auto review, which I agree, or like approve for me, which I agree, and I will tell you why. I was getting Codex 5.6 to do some work where I like to do this once in a while, like take a paper and try to replicate it, or kind of maybe it's an older paper and you want to extend it, like something like that with the data that's accessible. And it's always never quite worked, so that's kind of an interesting frontier test. And I was doing the same thing, and I was getting it. I was basically telling it like, not good enough, go like find more data, like do whatever it takes, kind of thing. And I had full access, and then just cold sweat pours on me when I see an email bounce back from like an academic where like an email didn't arrive. And then I check my sent emails, and this bastard sent emails to
Codex did.
academics, like, yeah, to like the authors of like the previous paper that I'm trying to replicate. And it said like, oh, I'm trying to replicate this paper. Could you like provide this data? Could you do this? And I realized, and I sent this to the OpenAI team, and they said, well, you know, you did put full access.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and yeah, you're kind of telling you to do anything that it takes. So like all the approve for me or auto review or whatever it's called, like it's a good setting. Like it doesn't bother you all that much, and it's not going to do something like a little bit full on like that. So yeah, apologies to the researchers who've I've unnecessarily bothered.
I actually have a
Wow.
counterpoint to this, because if you use the auto review, another model is inspecting everything that is happening here, of course. So it costs you more tokens. So be aware of that. And I put specific rules in my AgentsMD as a rule of engagement, where it also says no outgoing communication without my acknowledgement and stuff like that. So there are other ways to do that as well. If you don't have these rules, you should not just give it full access.
I don't have those rules. What I do have though is Codex that's showing you in picture. By the way, the little pet now showed up, and it like talks about like doing these stuff. I don't remember enabling this pet, so like welcome pet. But Nisten, you see the little like picture screen? The Mars simulation that already looks insane. And also, I don't remember this feature, folks. Like it shows me the computer using picture. So it's like, oh, it's launching. Yeah, one of the best features about this, I don't know why, like Cloud Code doesn't have this, is the steer feature. I can literally send notifications, like messages in the middle. I will say though,
it does is /BTW, but yeah, it's not quite there.
No, so BTW is like a side chat.
Something else, yeah. But you can choose in the settings if you want steering or if you want queuing, and you can press one of the modifier keys and enter.
There we go.
Change to the other one.
All right, Nisten, we have the app. Let me just take this into. Let me take this into another window. I'll show you guys like a full thing. It's gonna be loud. You guys see this? You won't hear the sound, so I'll mute because I don't want this mute. Okay. This is a very nice Mars. UI wise, this is less than what we've.
Maybe zoom out a bit to see the whole UI. Just Command minus or. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That's nice.
All right. Let's launch it. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's launch.
YOLO. Can you drag in and zoom in? Okay. All right.
There's multiple modes.
Yeah, that's not very accurate, but it's not bad. Interestingly, why didn't it make the same pill as Meta Muse?
Yeah, it kind of looks the same. Listen, I think it launches it to the other side, no?
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of like that.
Oh,
yeah, actually, that's accurate. But it's at a faster speed, 70x speed. Okay, that's not bad. That's actually very good. Aside from the animation hiccup. Oh, this is great, actually.
All right, we can zoom in. We can play around.
Oh, this is very good.
The model is deciding. It's still working, by the way. It's open now. Can I hide this little guy?
Okay, that's really good. I'd say that's almost better than Fable in one shot. Okay, this is great, actually.
And now it's completing the circle. Folks in comments, what else do you want to see? Oh, somebody posted AGI 3 scores. LDJ, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so it's, if you guys remember, over the past few months since ARC-AGI 3 has been announced, the scores have been mostly hovering around like 0.5%, 1%. I think maybe a model got around 2%. 5.6 Sol, though, is scoring, it's like 7.9%, something like that. So I feel like we're starting to get to the point where over the next few months, we'll see the models start hitting 15, 20, 30, 40, 50%, and start looking like the ARC-AGI 2 days again.
Yep, this seems like a big jump out of the previous ones. I don't think, is Fable on here on ARC-AGI? Do you know?
It's not on ARC-AGI specifically because Anthropic has the policy that at least for the time being, Fable 5 requests will be stored. Then because of that, ARC-AGI has refrained from using Fable, because then that risks contamination if Anthropic is going to be storing all the requests and outputs. Right?
So they require zero attention for even testing this.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, folks. So we have the where's the ChatGPT work thing? Is that now Codex? Like the thing that they showed off? I have ChatGPT Codex. Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
And
So,
also,
folks.
Yeah, I was going to say one last thing on the ARC-AGI 3 thing. They said that 5.6 Sol was the first model that was able to fully complete even just one of the games.
The first one on the new ARC-AGI.
Yes.
Right. So we have chat. We have sites. Ooh. Before you use sites, a few additional terms. You're responsible for your site. Your site collects personal data. OpenAI may remove sites. Okay, cool. So I don't have sites yet. Nisten, can I put this on the site? So the new feature they also announced is sites. Like basically, they'll host stuff for you, and then now I'm going to ask this to use the sites hosting skill. Which, by the way, I kept using a lot. Like always, I have a site that I deployed with Cloudflare that I built for my 40th birthday next week. By the way, Wolfram is going to run the show, folks. I'm going to be out in California, and I'll show you the site that Fable built for me if we have some time. We also need to talk about the image generation stuff, but we're all 2.5 hours in. But I needed to publish this site manually. Now ChatGPT has a built-in feature for sites, and it's going to put the Mars driver in here, so I can send it to you guys. Which is for the first time, because otherwise, everything else we've built was running on our computers. Nisten, go ahead while this happens.
Yeah, I was going to say this was more. This was more accurate in trying to make it like a game. So I really like that it showed the orbit around the planet. And no other model has just been able to one-shot that right away. And it did that correctly. I see the styling is a bit more vibe coded. I like the Meta Muse styling more, but damn, I think we might need a different test now. These are getting good.
Yes, tests are getting harder and harder. Like Peter, I think you also mentioned this. Like even between Fable and GPT, it's really hard to get a sense of like who's better at what. I'm really excited to test this out.
Maybe one point on sites is that I think a lot of the people who kind of maybe work in smaller companies or like post on Twitter or something, maybe like haven't experienced the pain of like lacking a feature like that. Is that I've worked in different companies who like it's very hard to get like hosting infrastructure internally, and it's like the single biggest annoying thing that you come across is that people build something and you can't deploy it. And deploying it means going to IT, going to engineering teams, they don't have time. So like someone in HR builds something, it's like lives on a laptop or nowhere. And it just kills so many projects. So something like sites, and I think that's why I would imagine probably like Replit, and they definitely had features like that where you can deploy within their own team. I'm guessing level, I'm not too sure, but this was, I think, was a big selling point for a lot of these kinds of services, that you can host something for your own team. So it's quite a big deal. I think it's still not like massively featured, so like they'll need to hopefully just keep developing it. But yeah, it's a big deal for a lot of people who are maybe not that technical.
Yeah, and I think that this is exactly the point for ChatGPT work. The deployment version, keep exact simulator just approved. Wrapping the build as clean. This takes quite a while. I don't know why it's like designing. I expected it just like to host something, but we will wait here until it hosts. But I think Peter, you're correct. Like the folks who are non-technical didn't used to build as much software, and the folks who used to build software used to also know how to like host it. And now folks who are not technical, just by the nature of having access to ChatGPT Codex and code, they build things all the time, custom things, because the tools they have are not enough for the custom stuff. And so now they have a problem of how to share this and talking to IT, etc. And now they have access to like deploying this like with the click of a button. Although I would have, this is weirdly slow for me. It's done redesigns. Like I'm not sure like what's going on here.
So I'm not like 100% on this, but my understanding is that Sites is like pretty limited still, so it has to have certain like templates and maybe not literally templates, but like certain requirements. So I think it's probably like redoing your app to align with that. So that's my guess, but yeah, it is a little bit slow.
It's using image generation for something, maybe for like a preview or something like this. The page is locked. I'm also using image generation workflow for one purpose, giving the deployed simulator a proper Mars theme social preview when the link is shared. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Listen, we're gonna have a social media preview for your Mars simulator in a second, and I'll be able to share the site with everybody here to go and test out on their own. I will warn you though, you guys didn't hear this because I'm not sharing audio. Ooh, well, we know the GPT image 2 is dope. Like we know this. This is clear to us. The GPT image 2 is dope, but it made a nice driver for social preview, and now we're gonna have the site deployed. Hopefully in a second here. Should we talk about computer use, which is significantly better? LDJ, I think we saw OS World and some other ones. OpenAI, GPT 5.6. Computer use is something that I'm super excited about. Stronger computer use and design judgment make Sol our most polished collaborator yet, helping you inspect, refine, and deliver ready-to-use results. Computer use. Where is the... Okay, let's look at this. Sol gets 62 at OS World, where GPT 5.5 got 47. This is a significant jump. This is a significant jump. So like it should be able to just do most of the stuff, which we like. The background computer use, I don't know why Anthropic didn't move there yet, but it's like incredible. Every time I ask Codex to do some stuff behind the scenes. The thing that we saw, by the way, did you guys see the little window in window? This shows computer use now, like in a little window, so you don't have to like go and like steal focus, which I really, really liked. And Benchcat, I don't know what Benchcat is, but browse comp is 90% versus 84. GPT Sol Ultra gets 92. It's the only one on browse comp that is better, but I don't know if I'm gonna run Ultra for clicking some buttons. Oh, do you guys notice this on the website? I thought only OpenAI is only comparing things to themselves, but you can literally scroll the table and see Mythos and Preview and Opus 4.8 here.
I did not see that.
This is like crazy. I like by mistake did this. Okay, so I literally thought that OpenAI is just comparing themselves to themselves and don't care about other ones. So OS World 2.0 on Sol is 62%. Cloud Opus is the only other score that we have is 54. Browse Comp is 90%, and Mythos 5 is 88, and Mythos Preview is 87. There's no Fable here, but Mythos is GPT 5.6 Sol beats Mythos on computer use, at least on this benchmark that we have. What else? Self-improvement. I think they mentioned a lot that like Sol built the auto improvement for Luna or something like this, and there's no comparison here to other models.
Yeah, so they said 5.6 Sol fully autonomously did the post training for 5.6 Luna,
which is crazy, absolutely crazy. And we're looking forward for the era of like RSI basically. And it's been a while since Karpati put this out in the public with Auto Researcher, and it does seem like the new models are like catching up to that. So like very excited to see.
Maybe I've got something to share as well on the research side. So I'm no researcher, so take this as you will. But I've been trying different kind of research tasks, and by research I mean kind of maybe discovering new information or something, not kind of searching online, but just kind of trying things out. And I have some tests which were successful and some that were not. So the one that was successful is that I came up with this idea that because it can use sub-agents, you can also set different models as to be sub-agents, where it could pick, for example, 5.6, 5.5, 5.4, I think 5.3 Codex, and so on, and different reasoning levels. And what I was thinking is that maybe it could come up with a benchmark by itself autonomously, and then it could just keep testing this benchmark on different sub-agents. And then the criteria would be that it has to be like the difference between models has to be like pretty big. And I had this running. I did this about 5 times, and it ran between I think the shortest one was something like 6 hours, and like the longest one was like 2 days, where it just kept trying different ideas and kept iterating. And all of them were like pretty good. It's not the benchmarks that you and I would come up with and say, oh, like that's a kind of a nice benchmark. So kind of still felt a bit like paperclippy, like a bit more mechanical, but certainly got there. And then you test it externally. I need to like revisit them and remember what they're exactly. But if you test them externally, just without like on other models, they do work like meaningfully. And by the way, Fable just completely like did some nonsense for like 40 minutes and just like came back. He's like, here you go. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So if there's a kind of research, I guess that was pretty good. But I've also been trying like other harder like math tasks and things like that, and it just kept like falling into very tactical work. And I really, it feels like to me that because the models are trained to like write code, they just want to go and like go write code. Like let me go and like I just want to go write, and I want to like feel good about completing this little task. Like it just kept doing that. They're still like bad at calibrating like what is a good task, bad at stepping back and saying like, am I doing the right thing or not? Like that kind of thing. So I'm curious. I'm gonna try and read more about this example that they said with the post training, see if they published anything. But I do wonder if it's like pretty well defined task, like to do that rather than research. I'm not like totally sure whether it's actually research or it's just saying kind of go do that. That is like in the research domain, if you see what I mean. But yeah, I still don't like totally feel like these models, none of them really are like good researchers. Like I feel like there's some way to go to like just be good researchers.
I think OpenAI promised us a intern level or like entry level full autonomous researcher by September, which is maybe the next model is going to hit that, and like a full-on researcher by like early 2027, March of 2027. That's the Jacob Pachowski and Sam Altman talked about like full autonomous research. LDJ, go ahead. First of all, folks, do you see the site? I posted in the comments. Second of all, LDJ, just before you're saying, we have Colleen, a friend of the pod, listener of the pod for the longest time, said the posts from June from Webflow account, OpenAI sites are going to be hosted on Webflow. That's pretty cool. The subdomain is chatgpt.site. And yeah, LDJ, go ahead. Oh, 2028.
Yeah, I was just gonna have a slight correction on September of 2026 for the like intern level autonomous OpenAI model that they apparently plan to deploy. I think they said on some huge amount of GPUs, and then March 2028 is when they plan to have a fully autonomous researcher that they implied would be like at the level of an actual OpenAI researcher.
So not a year, like a year and something after.
Yeah, I think like roughly 18 months, something like that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna wait for that, folks. We have Sol 5.6 everywhere, or switch to Hermes. I think everybody's like quiet because they want to go play with this. We had a wild week this week. I will try to recap just off the top of my head, and I'm not looking at any like notes or anything because it was quite crazy. And the ThursdAI today was quite crazy with like breaking news. We'll start with obviously OpenAI is still winning the week, although a few contenders came after them this week. OpenAI announced that the new versions of GPT 5.6 Sol, Terra, and Luna, which talk about the different tiers of capability, are launching today. Not only did they launch today, they launched together with ChatGPT for Work, the unified app for ChatGPT that we told you about for such a long time is now finally here, and it's Codex. So once now you download Codex, it literally says ChatGPT Codex, and you can switch even the icon Wolfram said, and you can drop down, and I'll show you this where this happens. You can drop down and say, hey, this is work, or this is Codex for developers, and you can literally switch. So now all the new people, all grandmas, whatever, they will all get Codex, and computer use is going to be there with the new models. OpenAI yesterday also launched GPT Live, a bi-directional conversation agent in the ChatGPT interface, which is not part of ChatGPT for work here for some reason. So we'll see when those two things combine, where I can talk to my Codex. GPT is a bi-directional conversation engine where you can talk and it listens while it talks as well. And it's significantly more improved. And for harder tasks, it pawns off with GPT 5.5 to do several things. It can be a great translator, as we saw, and real-time translator as well. They launched the model previously called GPT Real-Time. This is a different model. The GPT conversation is powered by GPT Live. So this is on the OpenAI end. Anthropic, meanwhile, we didn't have time to go into this today, but Anthropic launched a research called J-Space, which is a Claude's global workspace inside Claude's head that's not represented in tokens, represented in symbols. This is kind of crazy because it connects to how we think about concepts. Claude basically like feels concepts when it asks about different things. I really wish we had time to get into this here because I think it's super, super interesting, but not this week. This week was absolutely crazy. So we're only talking about launches. Meta, I think, wins number 2 in terms of surprises this week, in terms of launches. Meta started this week with launching Meta Image and Meta Muse Video preview. So it landed on Arena. Peter is here as number 2. Now it's number 3, just behind Reve, right? But it landed very, very, very well. I have even tested it out, and like I showed you guys, it's pretty decent. It works pretty decent on infographics and text. And when I say pretty decent, like surprisingly good. The consistency is good. You can access it in, let me see if I can have access in Meta AI app. Meta.ai. You can literally just generate images. Let's take a look at the infographic for 5.6 that Meta created for us. I'm trying to recap, and in the recap, I'm going to this. So it's like, this infographic is like fairly simple. I don't know if I can like zoom in for you guys here. Infographic is fairly simple, but the text is all on point. The colors are on point. The likeness of my character is on point. So Meta is doing like, launching a very, very decent one. There's another one here that I did for my birthday expedition, and it generated like a maze, and we can take a look at the maze, and the maze looks cool. It did kind of screw up here with like 2 of my kids, both of them being a reference to my daughter, and gave them different names. But besides this, it's a very decent model. And then I haven't tested the Meta Video one, but Meta also launched Meta Muse Video. And then Meta today, in breaking news, dropped Meta Muse 1.1, which was surprising to all of us. And we spent half the conversation today talking about Meta Muse 1.1, which is a very, very good model, sir. Putting Meta squarely back at the race of frontier labs looks like. It's good at coding. It did a very decent web design job. Some people called it slop, but I didn't agree. It's now available via API, so we're going to be able to test this on Wolfbench and harnesses. You can run this, and I actually ran this in the Hermes launch a little bit. So Meta Muse 1.1 is also drawing Mark Zuckerberg back to Twitter to announce this. In addition to that, we also had Grok 4.5 together with Cursor. And Grok 4.5 came back as a very decent model, beating other models on benchmarks fairly impressively. It has very cheap pricing for $2 per 1 million tokens, runs at 800 tokens per second, 80 tokens per second. Trained with Cursor on trillions of real agent interaction data, 1.5 trillion MOE, which fairly seems like small. So Grok also came up with a model this week. So we're now from a 3 lab race, we turned into 5 lab race in the span of a week. I say this again. In the span of a week, we went to sleep last week. And we're like, okay, this is a 3 lab race between Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google. Now there's 5. Anthropic, and I'm going to try to name them based on the quality of lab that I can consider. I was like Anthropic, OpenAI in a very tight race for the front. It looks like Elon is like catching up with the amount of GPUs they have and the data from Codex, and then Google now is fourth, and Meta is coming up as fifth, and those rankings will change. Peter, I remember before you were Peter Gostev, you were Amoeba GPT, and you were posting these like incredible things. It looks like a horse race for labs based on arena rankings as well. I think your job is cut out for you with all these different labs and like launches as well. It would be very, very good to see the launches of these labs recently. This is not all. We also had Reve, a new update from image model that lands number 2 on Arena, just above Meta Muse. And we had Seedream from ByteDance, Seedream 5, which I tested, and it looks like actually very decent, very like maybe fourth. And did I manage to get all the updates correctly, folks? Anybody was checking me versus the notes? I think I went off the top because there's like a crazy amount.
Are you trying to train your memory again after using AI so much?
Did I miss anything? No, I think I got all of them.
At least the important things you got, yeah.
Yes, I missed the last one, which was like a tiny update. Cognition SWE 1.7, which runs on Cerebras at 1,000 tokens per second, was updated from the Cognition team. Folks, an insane week in AI. Acceleration build team here, wishing you a great soul testing. I'm gonna put my Meta glasses. Hopefully, Soul is gonna. Hopefully, Meta Muse 1.1 is just gonna appear there. But definitely enjoy Soul, Terra, and Luna. These are like the best models of coding that you can get, especially now that Fable. You all are probably like fabled out. Enjoy them everywhere. Codex is unlike. There it is. Soul, unlike the Fable stuff, is available to you in Codex, in ChatGPT, in API, in Hermes, everywhere. So go and check out those agentic powers. They beat Fable on agentic, looks like. So I'm definitely going to use the end of the show to tell you there has never been a better time to follow AI. And these models are just going to get better. So maybe next week, y'all going to talk about open source. We'll see. But meanwhile, this is me signing off, folks. Next week is my birthday. I want to sign off on this. Next week is my birthday. And I built I don't know how to show you this. Alex says, I used Fable. Let me see if I can pull this up. I used Fable to build me a website with all of the details, and it looks wonderful. And then we were going to California with kids, and within the 30-foot RV. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I used it as an opportunity to test out as much as possible from image generation and also kind of like what Fable can do. And I generated with Meta a whole book that I used for image generation. It's a binder. I'll show you this binder. It's called the Volkov Expedition Times. Here it is. And I've printed out like over 100 pages together with Fable. And this is GPT image. By far the best image model that we have. It has activities, coloring pages, etc. Fable came up with half of it. And it was just wonderful that I had this idea. And within like half a day, I came from this to like a printed artifact for my family that's going to be always with us. And I think that the thing with Fable, the thing with GPT 5.6 that we must leave you with is that dream bigger. This is everybody's advice. Peter, like I think you'll agree. Everybody who used Fable agree. Like we used to use these models in a very certain way. The capability has shifted. Last week when Fable came back and now with Soul. And dreaming bigger is absolutely something that we need to do. So we'll definitely be able to bring you some of those like dreams here with ThursdAI, and like most excited to come back after my vacation with like fresh ideas. But dream bigger. A lot can be done now, and these tokens are like gonna go as farther as possible. This is like a one-of-one family thing that like me and Fable and GPT Image together created, and I think folks are creating incredible things as well. What a week. What a week, folks. Thank you so much. Wolfram Ravenwolf, Yam Peleg, Nisten Tahiraj, LDJ confirmed, and Peter Gostev. We're the crew from ThursdAI that brings you these advances since GPT 4. You guys remember? Before we had test time compute, before we had reasoning, before we have agents, before we have anything, before we had multimodality, as a reminder, before we had multimodality, function calling wasn't there, and now I can't wait to finish the show and just talk to my agent about delivering the show for you. Thank you so much. Again, next week I'm not gonna be here. Wolfram's gonna run the show. The week after that, we'll see. I'm gonna check with folks. Thank you for tuning in. Over 3,000 of you across the web tuned in for us. We also got live stream to the Practical Dev website. So shout out to folks who are watching us in the Practical Dev community. If you're still watching us, thank you. 3 million amazing devs on there. We'll tune in please next week. If you missed any part of the show, as always, ThursdAI, with the great help of agents, getting turned into the podcast and newsletter on thursdai.news. Please subscribe and give us a 5-star wherever you listen to the show if you found the show enjoyable, valuable, entertaining, and most of all, opening up hope and positivity about AI. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you and have a nice vacation next week, Alex.
Thank you. Bye, guys.